brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Good morning, you beautiful human beings. It is 4 degrees outside. It is a Friday. It is a long weekend coming up. And Jesse Wheeler has entered 2 weeks of isolation. The sun rises. A shaft of light crests into Studio One. And it alights upon a whiteboard that says, "Pineapple on pizza?" Question mark. And every time I've sat here over the past few days, I've stared at this. And I clearly missed this when it was initially a thing. There is a little checklist underneath it. Pineapple on pizza, question mark. Yes, no, WTF, FTW. Someone worked very hard on this. AJ?
I used to take a very strong stance on this, but a lot of the times Bruno's doesn't have pepperoni pizza already in the warming tray, so I've made the switch to Hawaiian out of necessity, and it's turned around for me.
It is a shame that no one has ever invented a third variety of pizza. Yes, you're right. Lecter?
Well, Samantha Stewart, if you're listening this morning, there it is. The count is final. 10 days until that topic officially got brought up on the air. Been on that whiteboard for about 10 days.
Just to lure someone in?
No. She asked me if we talked about it last Tuesday. I was like, no, we didn't.
So Samantha Stewart put it there, just as a trap.
I think one of her kids might have put it there.
Okay.
Yeah, a little trap topic.
Well, I've been looking at it for a while. I've been staring at it, and finally, it got me.
She knew we'd run out of show prep eventually,
right?
And it's just there just in case. Little fallback.
You're like the Mike Pence of pineapple on pizza here. Will you answer the question?
I will not. No, I like pineapple on pizza.
Ugh.
It's good.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Hello, everybody. Couple of things on the Cabin Radio morning notice board. Number one, the anonymous art contest seems to be well underway for another year. Now, Lecter actually looked physically at the notice board there. No, I just meant metaphorically, Lecter.
Just in your head.
In my head, there's a Cabin Radio notice board. I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about. I realized, you look behind you, like, there's nothing on the notice board.
I didn't notice anything.
What are you talking about? No, Lecter, no, the metaphorical notice board. Look over there, look, in my mind. Yeah, the anonymous art show. Do you guys know about this?
Yeah, I forgot about it this year, but I've been aware of it in the past.
Okay.
Refresh my memory here.
Okay, so the Down to Earth Gallery here in Yellowknife gets a bunch of tiny canvases in. And I mean tiny, like, well below the size of a dinner plate, square canvases.
Okay.
And they give them out. Anyone can grab one. And then you go away and paint, and you hand them back in by October 22nd, I think this year's deadline is. And then they go up in a great big gallery, and people buy them. And if yours sells, you get a commission for it. And I guess the gallery makes a tiny bit of money as well. I don't think it's really a money-raising thing particularly. But it's just a great big fun thing for everybody to do. And so you just go paint, and it gets hung up in a gallery, and if someone is fooled enough to actually think that someone good at painting painted it and buys it, then you win.
Oh, I see. So you could go in I could go in and do it.
Yeah.
And I could paint something.
Anybody can do it. It is the anonymous art show, so you never know who painted your thing until you've bought it. And then you find out.
And considering that, the fact that literally anyone could just go and paint something and put it up on the wall, you would be shocked at how good the majority of these paintings look.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember going last year to the gallery. I think I came away with 2, which I both really liked. And then, they're just both painted. The thing is that also people who are recognized artists also take part.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So there is a chance you're buying something from someone who is a professional artist.
They disguise themselves by doing a really terrible painting.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, right.
I'll disguise myself by doing a really good painting. Joke's on you.
Right?
Like, oh, this is beautiful. Oh, it's AJ? Man, this thing's worthless.
Well, one of the first things we did here at Cabin Radio once we built this place was we had Wheeler versus Ollie painting on a tiny canvas.
Yep.
I do remember that.
And that video
right up there still.
Yeah, there you go.
On the board.
Yep. That video is still out there somewhere, so it's going to be very difficult to disguise my artistic ability, particularly if anyone asks for me to paint a lizard wearing a hat.
Didn't you win?
No.
Oh.
No, I did not.
Well, it was kind of content. Yeah.
I felt like I should have done.
Yeah. There is.
You got the people's vote.
My rival, Jesse Isolation Wheeler, ended up drawing the outline of the lizard first.
Right. Yeah.
And then basically doing a paint-by-numbers job of it.
Yeah.
Which I felt didn't sufficiently retain artistic integrity.
I don't know that it was in the spirit of the competition.
Quite.
Yeah.
Quite. So that upset me greatly.
Were there
The
clear
judges,
rules?
well, I think that was part of the problem. The judges, the guest judges, although lovely, did not define the parameters strictly enough.
Well, that's not fair.
Thus, Jesse Wheeler, being the cunning individual that he is, he found a way.
He loves loopholes.
He loves loopholes.
Now, I feel as though the deadline might have passed for this, but I might nip down to the Down to Earth gallery anyway and just see if they have a few spare canvases. Because the exciting thing from my point of view is that as Mr. Jesse Wheeler has just entered 2 weeks of isolation, he can't be in this contest.
And
Another loophole.
Maybe next week, get a few canvases, and we can each have a little go
Maybe.
and
Maybe
submit
not.
them for the show.
It's all anonymous.
Right?
Whoa.
What are you going to do? You got to take yours and give it to Picasso or something, and then bring it back and be like, I painted this.
I think he's tough to get a hold of, but I can try.
Certainly these days.
Yeah.
Now the phone seems to be somewhat dead over there, but we can always try.
He's out of data.
Oh, that'll be it.
Cheap.
That'll be it. I do like that idea though. Take your anonymous art canvas, get someone else on the sly, paint it for you, do a very nice job of it, put your name on the back. No one's going to know. And then someone buys it. What, AJ painted this? This beautiful, glorious, introspective piece that captures all the romance and beauty and raw, just emotional, burning desire of the North?
That's how I paint normally.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't have to give it to anyone else.
Yeah, it's difficult when it's woodwork, though, isn't it? It doesn't really shine through
That's
quite as
true.
much. Oh, the raw, emotional desire of this fence.
Yeah, it's just glue and sawdust on this
Yeah.
on this thing.
I can't remember if I've told this story before on this show, but Nicole and I have actually taken part in the Anonymous Art Show before. And we decided to go a little ambitious and do like a two-part, like basically our paintings would kind of combine to make one painting.
Feel like
Similar
I already...
to like a TikTok duet, if you will.
Okay,
Kind of like
yeah.
a TikTok duet, yeah.
I feel as though I know where this is going. Yeah, okay.
Do you?
I don't know if I do, but
Okay.
I feel like I might.
Well, maybe because I've told the story before. I can't remember. Anyway, we decided we were just going to do something, keep it pretty simple and do a water, like on the lake or on the ocean type scene. And one of us would do above water and one of us would do below water. And so I did above water, and I couldn't remember the last time I'd painted something. It had been a long time, and I was just like, I want this to be good. So I actually brought up a YouTube video of how to
Bob Ross.
It wasn't Bob Ross. I don't know why I didn't go for Bob Ross. I wasn't looking for any happy little trees.
Yeah, these trees are depressed, AJ.
Yeah.
These trees have had enough.
Yeah, you want a darker version.
More just ocean skyline.
Yeah. You wanted Robert Ross,
That's right.
the dark version.
And so, I looked up, little tips on how to make the horizon look nice and all that. And really put some time and effort into it. And it came out, I was really happy with it. Nicole just did not set aside any time for this. And she was doing below water, and we had an iceberg. So she was going to do the majority of the iceberg.
Oh, that's a cool
underwater.
idea.
It was a really cool idea. Didn't execute so well. I don't know that anyone bought our paintings, but what started out as a cute little group activity turned out in her just doubting her artistic ability.
Oh, no. Tore you two apart.
Yeah.
That is not how I anticipated that story ending. No,
Yeah.
I retract my earlier statement.
Oh, okay. How'd you think it was going to go?
I assumed that
Curious.
maybe you were painting these two paintings that went together and someone would have bought one but not the other.
Oh,
And I didn't
yeah.
think it would have just destroyed someone's soul. No, that wasn't really where I thought that story was going.
Exactly
Yeah.
where I thought it was going.
But okay.
If we followed up and knew that someone had bought mine, that might have been soul destroying, but I don't think anyone did.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
We have a new sport for you this morning. It's great. We've just invented it, and when I say invent, what I mean is we've seen it on Facebook and stolen it. Lecter brings you more.
So, from what I can gather from a quick Google search, it is called Botaushi,
Sure.
something in that neighborhood.
Okay.
Basically,
I think the best way to describe it would be what you punched into Google.
Japan defend the pole sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just call it that.
There you go. Japan
sums it up.
defend. So we're going to play a sport called Japan Defend the Pole. Now it sounds like there might even be two countries in that statement. There's only one. So this is from Japan, and the pole being defended is just this big wooden pole, and one person gets atop the pole, and then an entire team of people in helmets must defend the person atop the pole from an entire team of people in a different color, also in helmets, who just rush the pole.
So once you watch the video on the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page, you will be probably a little surprised to know that apparently this is a game that is played on sports days at schools in Japan.
Because it's a little, AJ, it's a little tasty, right? There's a bit of physicality involved here.
There's a little bit of physical. It looks like a Black Friday sale in the States. If you were to put a 40-inch LED TV on top of that
40-inch. Come on. People aren't that crazy.
40-inch?
That's all that's left.
55-inch.
That's all that's left.
Come on.
Yeah, I guess TVs are much bigger now, aren't they?
Give them a little credit, AJ. Apparently, it is traditionally played by the cadets at the National Defense Academy of Japan on its anniversary.
The cadets? This is like a military drill type thing?
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, when you watch it, does that totally surprise you?
I mean, I don't know too much about war, but I don't think it's a capture the flag type deal.
It's a free-for-all, AJ. you just go into the pile.
Yeah, you just,
see
as
what
long
happens.
as you get to the top of the pole first,
That's right.
Your country wins.
That is how America was born.
Oh.
George Washington stood on top of the pole, and nobody could bring him down.
Climbed over a bunch of people and got to the top of the pole.
The Japanese have realized that come the apocalypse, and it is now closer than it ever looks like it has been before, you're not going to have tanks, missiles, aircraft. It is just going to be a case of a whole bunch of people running at you trying to steal your stuff. So let's get training now. And I admire that. That is advanced planning. Civilization has to end someday. We've seen it happen everywhere else. Civilization has to go someday. Doesn't matter when. Eventually the sun will consume the earth. Someday civilization is on the way out.
Yeah.
So you may as well train the cadets for that day.
You take everything away. You strip everything down from civilization, and eventually all that's going to be left is a pole.
Yeah.
You're going to have to
can
defend.
of beans right on
one
top.
can of beans.
Yep.
That's
And those
right.
beans are going to be the difference between life and death. So you'd better get ready. This sport is amazing. Go check it out. It's on the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page. It doesn't take as long as you would think for a team of 30 to 40 people to plunge their way through another team of 30 to 40 people and get to the guy on the pole and drag him off. But then, twist in the story, you've got to put your own guy on the pole to win.
That we're unclear of.
Before the police arrive.
Before the police arrive, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he just touches the top of the pole. But then they kind of keep going, but then they stop. So I don't think the second guy needs to get all the way up. I think he just needs to touch the top.
Maybe. Unless there's we were thinking maybe there's some kind of point stealing aspect to the game where if the attacking team brings down the defender from the top of the pole and then gets their person onto the top, perhaps they steal a point. I don't know. There is so much more to learn about the pole defending sport.
Is there positions?
Do
you have rushers? You obviously have a pole.
Well, I mean, clearly there are at least two positions. One of which is defending the pole, and the other which is being on the pole.
Yeah.
3 positions, in fact, and attacking the pole.
But you also got to hold the pole up.
That's right.
So you've got your building block guys.
Yeah.
They have to sit there and literally hold the pole upright.
In the middle of a pile.
In the middle of a pile.
And when they go into the Sports Hall of Fame as a builder, they mean it.
Yeah.
This guy built a pole for the other guy to sit on.
He was once 6'1". He's now 5'4" after playing this game for 10 years.
Little final added context. The game is 75 on 75. That is the team numbers.
What? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Where are we going to find 72 more people?
This is going to take some doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're going to have to wear masks. We'll have to have hand sanitizer.
Well, there is an argument that this is not the most pandemic-friendly sport available.
No.
Skiing, this ain't.
I disagree. You put a toilet paper roll right at the top of the tower. Maybe.
All right, March 2020.
Becomes essential.
God, where have you been? Everyone just can't get rid of enough toilet roll these days. They go in their bathroom, there's still 57 rolls.
I still think toilet paper is out of stock, and everyone wants a 40-inch TV.
Yeah, AJ's got his finger on the pulse of your shopping habits this pandemic year. Okay, well, Japan defend. I can't even say it out loud. Japan defend the pole is arguably more difficult to say than its actual name, which is, Lecter?
Botaushi.
Botaushi.
Perhaps.
That's easier to say. I feel like that's a Wheeler versus Ollie video waiting to happen at some point.
Apparently there's a film.
There's a film?
In 2003. A film, called Botaushi. came
Okay.
out.
Well, we're going to go away and watch that. We might, I suppose, be back after the news for a little while, but that sounds amazing. And that is my weekend viewing.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Ollie, Lecter, AJ, and now Sarah. Morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
In with you this morning, and let's take a look through the Halloween tips as issued yesterday by the Northwest Territories government. The good news, everybody, Halloween is on. Trick-or-treating is on. Cabin Radio's live Halloween broadcast is on.
Hooray! Sorry.
Nothing,
Yay.
Sarah? You're not even...
I'm so excited.
Sorry. A little too much
I
excitement
bought a
there.
pumpkin weeks ago. I have been preparing for this.
Okay, what have you done with that pumpkin since?
It's just sitting outside on my, what's the little table called? The outdoor table?
Outdoor table.
Yeah, just looking nice. Well, I can't just put it on the steps because you wouldn't be able to see it over the fence. It needs to be elevated.
Okay, so you've got a pedestal for your pumpkin.
Yes, pedestal. That's the word, AJ. That's what we were looking for.
Oh, it's my fault.
Yes.
Okay.
I was trying to help.
Well, you know who else is trying to help? Cami Candola's trying to help. So much so that she's produced this whole page, and it's linked from our website. The guidelines for celebrating Halloween safely. These were published yesterday at 9:39 a.m. It's important, apparently, that we know that. It says it's almost time for Halloween, and we want Northerners to stay safe while celebrating during COVID-19. And then there follows a relatively lengthy page of guidelines. And you know what? Before I get into these, because there are some entertaining ones in here, I do want to say this is actually quite a useful page. If you go and check this out, there is some genuinely quite helpful stuff in terms of things that you can do during Halloween, things you maybe shouldn't do during Halloween. Like, I initially thought, you know what's a safe way to do this? Let's put all the candy in a bowl down the end of the yard, and then the kids can just come get it. Then there's not going to be any interaction. But as this document points out, that just encourages a bunch of different kids to all touch the same bowl, which is not necessarily a great idea. So I already have learned through reading this document. However, there are some interesting tips here for people who I'm intrigued. Some of the tips here are, I want to know what audience they appeal to. So let's go to giving out treats, which is a whole section. So under the giving out treats section, there is a subheading that says best practices. Now, under the best practices for giving out treats, like to stay with us.
Yeah.
Maintain and encourage safe physical distance. Fine. Limit the amount of time interacting with trick-or-treaters. Encourage they move along after they get their treats from you. Move along!
Yep, take
Move
your candy
along.
and go.
Yep.
Get out of here, you little ghouls.
Bring a cattle prod. Go on. Away.
Just a little spray bottle with water. Get off my deck.
Look, kid, I know you're a zombie, but could you speed it up? Like, you know, I admire your attention to detail, but, like, move along. Come on.
Can you be a speedy zombie?
Yeah. Be one of those fast zombies.
Yeah. There's movies with those in them.
Yeah.
Item 3, frequently clean and disinfect all high-touch surfaces, doorbells, handrails, door handles and knobs, doors throughout the evening. Item 4, my favorite item in this whole list of guidelines, show that you are not participating in Halloween festivities. And it then provides some helpful ways that you can do that. If you are not sure how to demonstrate that you are not participating in Halloween, here are some tips for you. Turn off your porch lights. Do not light a jack-o'-lantern. If you're trying to show that you are not participating, one of the most elementary mistakes you can make is lighting a jack-o'-lantern.
Is participating.
So I will be removing my pumpkin off the pedestal while we're out doing our broadcast.
That's for the best, because otherwise it looks like you're participating, doesn't it?
Without this document, you wouldn't have.
Yeah. Do not put out decorations. Like, who are these people who are not participating in Halloween festivities, but were lighting jack-o'-lanterns and putting out decorations? Don't answer the door. Again, you answered the door on Halloween, only to discover there were people trick-or-treating. Like, no, you guys, I'm not participating.
Ah, they got me again.
Oh.
Well, my first mistake was putting out decorations. My second was opening the door. And, of course, my third was buying a bunch of candy and giving it to the kids.
Yeah.
I don't know how this happened.
They gave me two options very loudly. They said trick or treat, not trick or treat or don't open the door.
There is no third option.
What am I to do?
You could also put a friendly sign on your porch or door showing you're not participating this year.
Go
no
away.
trespassers.
What exactly would
Trespassers
that
will be
friendly
shot.
sign say? Just, we are not participating in Halloween?
Not participating this year.
Guard dog on site.
Yeah.
Bugger off.
We should make cabin radio signs to be handed out to people who are not participating this year with a variety of choice phrases with a cabin radio logo that you can then put up in your yard like basically like signs for politicians, just cabin radio style. Jesse Wheeler's face, go away.
Life's better anywhere but here.
Yeah.
I already ate all the candy. My bad.
Perfect. Other instructions, best practices for giving out treats. We're only halfway down the list. Wear a non-medical mask or face covering if you can't stay more than 6 feet away from the trick-or-treaters. Like, what are they doing? Are they chasing you?
I mean, last year.
Yeah, we
that's
almost
true.
got chased.
We did get chased.
Yeah.
That was the one kid in the video last year who objected strongly to the TV light.
Yeah.
And
What's he going to be like this year?
Yeah,
that kid's going to be a nightmare.
that kid is going to be... He needs to read this
He's
document.
probably a whole foot taller, too.
Oh, he's probably collected
Even
rocks
scarier.
over the last 12 months.
If you are dressing up, consider including a mask as part of your costume. Hand out pre-packaged treats. Consider creative ways to hand out treats by using, bullet-pointed list, a hockey stick, tongs, or a wrapping paper tube to create a slide.
Potato cannon.
The
Yeah.
Halloween house did say they considered that, and then they thought, no, wait, maybe that's too dangerous.
Oh, maybe?
Maybe.
Let's use a large
it will
cannon.
be too dangerous.
When you say, who's the Hardy Halloween house was that?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
remember it was in my story.
I
wasn't it?
remember that. Sorry, yes, I read that story, yes.
You edited that story.
I vaguely remember that. Avoid leaving treats in a communal bucket or bowl. You see, that's the part that I didn't then...
But that never goes well. See, some families have tried
Yeah.
that in the past, and you just get the greedy kid
Yeah.
who takes all the candy.
Okay.
It's kind of okay because it's just going to be one kid.
That's true. Yeah.
There's
Well,
not going to
first
be
come, first
any,
serve.
like multiple touching of the bowl because the first kid who gets to it is going to empty the whole bowl.
Interesting.
And those kids turn out to be Salvagers Unite people.
That's right. Yeah.
They show up at the door and they take everything within 2 minutes.
And sell that candy on Yellowknife Classifieds.
Yeah.
I feel seen.
Where they are now. Sarah's feels she's been attacked.
Personally attacked. Yep.
Also, avoid encouraging trick-or-treaters to sing or shout for their treats. So,
Right.
no live music,
No live
even
music,
from
yeah.
trick-or-treaters on Halloween. No, AJ, no, not even in here.
What kids sing for candy?
Very well-behaved, polite ones? I don't know.
Little girls dress up as Elsa, maybe
Yeah.
singing Frozen tunes.
Okay.
I'm
again,
I'm
really
trying my
getting
best.
Let
into
it
that
go.
character.
Let it go. No, seriously, let it go. You're in a communal bowl. Let it go.
This is illegal.
You're taking too much.
Haunted houses. There's a whole list for this as well. I'm not going to go through all of it. If you're planning on holding a haunted house this year, don't bother. You just don't want to have to deal with this. Things to consider. And then there are 8 bullet points for things that you're going to have to deal with if you want to have a haunted house, including you must control crowds.
I think,
And have a sign-in sheet.
Yeah,
Keep track of
basically-
everyone who comes.
yeah. All you have to say is sign-in sheet. And that takes care of that.
Okay.
It would be pretty funny to see a bunch of like Halloween costumes, zombies and mummies and werewolves, and they're all just in single file, socially distant, signing in to the haunted house.
Signing in is what their costume is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allowance
Dracula
one.
is in the haunted house right now.
October 31st, Dracula.
And so just lastly, there is a whole different section for trick-or-treating best practices, because so far we've only done the giving out candy. I suggest you all go and read this. I know that you'll want to know the best practices. The one that is bolded up and highlighted at the top, which refers to our earlier discussion, only trick-or-treat at places that clearly signal they're participating. This includes, list, porch lights on, lit jack-o'-lantern, decorations. People may not be participating for a lot of reasons. They may be sick, self-isolating, in a high-risk category, or just not interested.
Like, was this a problem in the past? Bunch
Oh, yeah.
of kids like
Did you
forcing
miss-
adults to give
Did
them
you miss
stuff?
the GNWT's annual Halloween guidelines where they say, like, listen, guys, here's how not to participate, and will you please stop harassing people
So
who are
bizarre.
just grumpy?
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't have candy. Give me some cereal or something.
What?
Cereal.
Yeah,
What?
come on. I'm just saying,
No,
if they're
no,
gonna,
no,
if they're going to force families to give them something, you know what I mean? Like, how do you, I don't know, just don't answer the door. It seems so simple.
Yeah. But, I mean, you don't want to be harassed while you're not answering the door.
I guess. You just ignore it.
Or egged,
Oh,
that
that is a real
all
problem.
All that fun stuff.
That is a real problem. Only if you're a teacher. That seems to be.
The wording in this thing is amazing. Avoid trick-or-treating in indoor spaces if possible. If you must trick-or-treat indoors. Let's be very clear, GNWT. Nobody must trick-or-treat indoors. There are no circumstances in which someone literally must trick-or-treat indoors. It is even more important to maintain physical distancing. Listen, like, if you're ever in a situation where you are being forced against your will to trick-or-treat indoors, phone an adult, get in touch with somebody very quickly. That's super weird. Anyway, go to the Halloween Guidelines website. There's a PDF version as well you can print out. And Cabin Radio, we're going to make signs that have Jesse Wheeler's face on them and just say, go away!
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
The horoscope catches my eye. In the newspaper this morning, Capricorn, someone close to you is ill. Check out the situation for yourself.
Oh, God.
Capricorn, don't do that.
Oh my goodness.
Which newspaper is this?
This is in the Yellowknife for this morning, the Yellowknife for
What's-
horoscopes. I'm paraphrasing slightly. Capricorn, you may be feeling that someone close to you is ill or not themselves. These intuitions will not cease until you check out the situation for yourself.
No, that's the whole thing. Don't check out
I'm going to tell you right now, Capricorn, do not check out the situation for yourself.
Unless it's the slang meaning of ill. So like
Someone
cool.
close to you is ill.
Awesome.
I feel like the fact that they've clarified has said not themselves.
Like fat.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Someone close to you is so sick that you just need to check it out for yourself.
So awesome that you need to check it out for
So-
yourself.
Something that is so awesome that you need to check it out for yourself is the closed sign of the Ruth Inch Memorial Pool. This is on our website. You guys were talking about this on Mornings at the Cabin yesterday, and this is the city reopening the pool as of today. Yeah, you can go swimming again, everybody, as long as you book in advance and follow 9 million rules. They're all on the City of Yellowknife's website. We had a little story up about it, and the photo in that story is just a closed sign, but there's a little bit more to it than that. Now, Cabin Radio staff photographer Andrew Goodwin took this photo,
Thank you.
and you captured really quite an interesting psychological approach that the city was taking to its residents with this photo. Describe the image for us.
Well, it is a diving board, and at the end of that diving board is a close sign. So far, pretty standard stuff.
Mhm.
What you do see in the background, though, is a completely empty pool, no water whatsoever.
Okay.
So you would assume that if you were going to enjoy the diving board, you would maybe see the fact that there's no water and stop.
Mhm.
But they thought, just in case, we'll put a close sign at the end of the diving board.
It does not suggest, does it, that the city of Yellowknife has the highest opinion of the intellect of people who choose to frequent the Ruth Inch Memorial Pool.
No, I mean, water is see-through, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if you've got a bit of a, bad eyes, maybe, that you just wouldn't, maybe you don't normally see the water.
Okay.
Or
Or
maybe
you,
I
or you
think-
think it's that clear, that clean.
If the pool is empty, they're not going to be letting regular people in there. So it's really just their staff that they don't trust.
You don't think people break in
Those
and do
lifeguards.
flips off the diving
Those
board?
lifeguards, man.
Did you break in to get that picture?
No comment.
Okay.
Also, the sign only went up after he'd broken in and tried to dive off it the first time, and the staff wrestled him away. Oh, we need to put a sign up. These cabin radio
this keeps
people.
happening.
Yep.
I guess we got a few comments on the Facebook page you two were talking about. I never really thought twice about the picture, but yeah, it is strange that there would be a closed sign inside where it is already abundantly obvious that the pool is out of commission. Although I will say that without any water in the pool, it would make that climbing wall actually achievable.
Yeah, and also way more dangerous.
Oh, you just, yeah.
So one thing, I was in there because I had to grab the net for the duck race.
Ah, yes.
And when I was in there, I was like, oh, wow, this is cool. I've never seen it empty before.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the comment of, oh, now we can check to see. And I was looking at the grates. And she said, let me stop you there. There are no sharks in the grates. I was like, oh, everyone who's been in that pool, I don't know about you. Well, I guess you were all adults when you came here.
Yeah.
But when we were kids, there's like 3 grates at the back end, and that's the wave machine. So it used to, they were just like the tiniest little waves, little humps. And when you'd swim by there, you'd be like, oh, that's where they keep the sharks. And everyone had this weird phobia that there was sharks in those grates.
And
Yeah.
it was just like passed down from the older kids every year.
I've talked
That's
to
where the
so
sharks
many
are.
people about this, and
everyone
everyone
thought
is,
it.
yeah, when they were kids, they're like, oh, there's got to be sharks in there.
You know,
It's
you
just
know how
gotta
this
be.
happened. This
Yeah.
is like one dad in the 1980s.
Yeah.
One dad like nailed an all-time classic dad joke about sharks behind the grates, and it was enough to be passed down from generation to generation. You can't ask for more with a dad joke than for it to begin a tradition in a community. And now there are still legions of children who believe there to be sharks at the Ruth Inch Memorial Pool because one dad in 1987 had the temerity to go there.
I mean, look around, man. We've had elephants Going down Franklin Avenue, we had a
Lions.
lion. Neither of those belong here. What's to say there's not sharks in the pool?
And where would they be? Where would they be? They'd be at the pool.
That's
They'd be at the
right.
pool.
But you couldn't just leave them in the pool because people would know.
Yeah, not the large bodies of water that surround Yellowknife. You'd put them in the Ruth Inch
Well,
Memorial
come on,
Pool.
you wouldn't subject them to that. I mean, have you seen those places? There's arsenic all over the place. You want to put the shark somewhere it's going to be able to, like, chill.
Exactly. Somewhere where there's lots of chlorine.
Yeah.
It can stay clean.
Nice and sterile.
Yeah.
That's the environment sharks like.
That's the scariest thing about those sharks. Their eyes are always really bloodshot from the chlorine.
But now it could be COVID instead, so enjoy the Ruth Inch Memorial Pool today. It's reopened, everybody. You can book online. This was brought to you by the City of Yellowknife, working for you.
COVID-19 sharks. Will 2020 get any worse?
This has been Mornings at the Cabin. Thank you very much to Sarah, to AJ, to Lecter, to you for listening. 90s and 9 is next with Lecter. Then I'm back in the hot seat from 1 till 4 in for Shannon. Then it's J-Bear taking you home to the cabin. And home to Thanksgiving as well. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful weekend. We are going to be back. Mornings at the Cabin on Tuesday.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.